Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Tony Speaks Morning Show. I'm Tony T with you here every day at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, giving out live free plays for today's card. And on today's show, we'll have picks for you from the NFL. We have 2 playoff games on deck for today. NBA gives us a 6-game card. We also have college basketball. I think 140 plus games today on the board. If we get an NHL guy, we'll have the NHL picks. Remember, we have a live show at 1 p.m. Eastern with Rod hosting the Daily Dangle. So he'll go through the complete rundown on this NHL card. Also, he has guests to join him as well. So check out the Daily Dangle, 1 p.m. Eastern time for those hockey picks. Shout out to everybody here in the chat. Ron Hahn up and early. Ron Hahn up and early this morning. Just excuse me, I'm still working with this bug. It's been with me for a while. It reached my eyes as well, as you can tell. So check us out here. Like, subscribe. We greatly appreciate it. Really helps to build up our audience when you do that. I think El Nino's was checking in with me, saying he's having some issue here with his mic. I believe that's the case. Let me check it out here. Let's see. Now we're going to get him in right now. There, he's coming in right now. We'll bring him in right now. El Nino's ready to join us here on the show. El, what's happening?
Yeah, doing all right. Coming off a 2-0 day, so take it and hope to keep it rolling. How are you doing, Tony?
Doing all right. I hit my one play yesterday. It was just domination by Indiana with the best bet. I mean, it was just from the first play of the game all the way.
Oh yeah.
I just total domination here. Some people say, hey, a semifinal game shouldn't be a blowout like this. Now it brings up a game with Miami and Indiana. So we have these early thoughts on that national title game.
Oh, should be a good one. I mean, Miami catching 7.5. I haven't checked the line this morning, but that's where it opened at. So, over here they're obviously complaining about getting disrespected. But again, interesting line for sure. Should be a good matchup. And yeah, don't want to give too much away, but I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I think a lot of us were thinking it. Yeah, we're getting our minds open here in this game here. Should be a good one. El Nino's having off to a good start. Looking at the leaderboard. Yeah, up to the top of leaderboard here for the year. Al, what's been hitting for you?
Just discipline. I think discipline's been the key, and avoiding those landmines. As I said yesterday, I really liked the Kings in hockey, and that did not go the way I had planned. But I managed to keep that one off the premium side, and just really trying to go with A+ plays, no A-, no A's, just really trying to stay really selective.
Yeah, really selective here. You want to do that here, especially in the everyday sports. There's some volatility with the players that play, that miss play. It just does scale it back. That's maybe a good strategy there. No scaling back in playoffs because we have all the data and the players are going to play. So we got the playoffs coming here. NFL for today, featuring Rams and Panthers rematch from earlier, I believe in October. Rams 10.5 on the road. I'm seeing a 10 pop up at DraftKings. Total sits here at 45.5. There's some 46s. Packers and Bears. Bears open 1.5. The money's on the Packers. That's a sharp money. Packers 1.5 on the road. Total 44.5. The weather could be an issue in these games here. So let's take a look here. Carolina. I know in the Carolina game there was rain forecasted here at a pretty high percentage. Let's see if that has changed since overnight. Let's get the games. Let's see if we can get it up here. There we go. Let's take a look here at starting lineups here, and we'll let you know what the weather looks like here for this for both of these games. Let's see here. Still getting a slow update on these weathers. Let's see here. Here we go. Rams and Panthers. Well, it's come down. Yesterday it was 77%. It's down to 43% chance of rain. 72 degrees, 15-mile-per-hour wind. Green Bay and Chicago, we got a 34% chance of precipitation. Why? Because it's near freezing, 33 degrees there in Chicago, 18-mile-an-hour wind. So we got some pretty interesting to see how the wind swirls here in these games. Could see a little snowflake there in Chicago. Could be some drops in Carolina. How do you see it, El Ninos?
Yeah, I'm going to stick to a theme here. Just going to look at a couple totals. You mentioned the wind. You mentioned the potential rain there. I think definitely expected some big-time weather there in Chicago for sure. But starting off with this early one, yeah, you got the Rams coming in at 10-7 the over, but the Panthers 10-7 the under. And think that wind does come into play a little bit. I think it's just strong enough to start affecting those field goals and potentially any kind of deep ball threats. So I'm expecting a little more running than usual here, and the clock to keep ticking. Yeah, it's not the highest total in the world, but I think we stay under in that early one, and same story pretty much for the late one. You got the Packers coming in 9-8 to the over. The Bears 500 on their totals, right? But I'm expecting even more wind in this one. Could be a snow game even potentially. So, from what I've read, so again, I think we see another game where you got two good running backs on these teams to begin with, anyway. So just think they'll be put to a little extra use than they're usually than they're used to, and well, I think they'll be up for the task. But again, that'll keep the clock ticking. So I think we see another under in that one.
There we go with Al Ninos there. I'll tell you what I think about these games here. Yeah, I'll be looking at taking the points here with the Panthers. The Panthers' pass defense is allowed an average 150 yards per game over their past 3. And I just don't trust this Rams defense, man. They've choked down the stretch of games, and I think they wear out quickly. Rams' run defense has been poor over their past 2 road games at Seattle and Atlanta, where they get an average of 195 yards on the ground. Yikes. That scares me there to lay the points there with based on this Rams defense. I know issues with the Rams offense. Devontae Adams should be back in. But, those hamstrings they're always an issue for me with the receivers, psychologically as well, because, you overextend yourself, and guess what? You're going to start limping again. So I always have concerns about those hamstring injuries there. I'll look at 10.5 there. This Packers-Bears games, we look at the concern I have here is the Bears' pass defense. Look at the past 2 games with this Bears' pass defense, giving up 607 yards, 8.1 yards per pass. The Niners got to them. Detroit got to them. I mean, the Bears played their starters last week, and they lose the game to Detroit. Not that Detroit's a bad team. Look, if Detroit had an easier schedule, they probably would have been a playoff team. But we are those first-place teams. You see what happens to them. They duel against each other, and they knock each other out of the playoffs. So that's why we're seeing these 2nd and 3rd and 4th place teams from last year having great years. Yeah, well, your schedule's easier, especially when they add that extra game. That means it's an extra first-place team for the first-place teams from last year that's on their schedule. So, and we had another game, maybe even worse, But anyway, to me, the Packers should be the fresher team. They didn't play starters last year. It's kind of what I call a quasi-bye week where they rested starters. And I will look for them here. Bears coming off a physical battle against the Lions. So we get the Packers fresh and the Bears coming off a division opponent. So I'll look at also you got to deal with looking at the playoff experience from Green Bay. I know they've got issues defensively, but so do the Bears, especially in the past defenses. I just read up these numbers there. So I'll look here at Green Bay to get it done there. All right, look at some of the chats here. I think some folks here looking at the Bears here. They like the Bears to win today. Well, keep an eye on the weather. That's definitely the case. We got someone going, it's going to rain. That was a forecast, but it's come down a little bit. So keep an eye there from 77% to 43%. Yeah, some folks think it is too many points for the Rams. Yeah, I'm just not wired to lay points like that in playoff games. Just not wired to do that. Mm-hmm. The Packers defense is a little bit banged up, but I think what makes up for it is the fact that the Bears defensive form has not been good, and it's kind of a quasi bye week for the Packers. Packers rested all their starters last week. All right. Yep, player props today, NFL. Keep an eye on that one. Yeah, Cal Dog, I know about your Bears. Your brain says the Packers. I get it. I get it from the longtime Ram fans. I get it. They've always no team has disappointed their fans more than the Rams did in playoffs. If you go back and look at the history of that team. All right, let's continue here on the 20 Morning Show. Move on over to the NBA here for today. We have a 6-game card. We'll do 2 blocks of 3. Timberwolves and Cavs. We have the Cavs here, 4.5. Total sits 238.5. Heat and Pacers. Heat, 7.5 on the road. There's some 8s popping up. Total 235. Clippers and Pistons. Pistons here, 5.5. Totals 216.5. So let's take a look at the injury report here for today. Let's see what we got here. Let me see here. And this injury deal here is slow to work today. Let's see what we got here. Starting lineups. Let's take a look here what we got here in the NBA. All right, Timberwolves and the Cavs. We got Conley and Shannon out for Minnesota. Edwards and Randall are both questionable, so keep an eye there. Edwards, Randall, questionable for Minnesota. On the Cleveland side, no Strus, no Dean Wade. There. Looks like starting lineup intact for Cleveland. Miami and Indiana. We have Rozier out, as we know. For Indiana, no Jackson, no Mathurin, no Toppin. Nemhard here is questionable. This is about the healthiest we've seen Indiana here for a while. Then we go on over to the Clippers and the Pistons. There, back-to-back spot here for the Clippers. In this one, we've got Bogdanovich, Jones, and Paul out. Keep an eye on Harden. Keep an eye on Leonard. This is a back-to-back. Harden has been dealing with shoulder injuries. We'll see what goes on here with the Clippers. This is a 7:30 Eastern start, so keep an eye on that injury report. For Detroit, it looks like Durbin and Harris are out, 2 contributors. Cade Cunningham, big impact player. He shows up as questionable for Detroit. Let's see if we get some information here from him. It's a wrist injury here. He missed the Wednesday game against the Bulls with the wrist. That meant that Ivy started, and Dennis Jenkins logged in the minutes for him. So keep an eye here again. You want to look at the shoot around to see if Cunningham is on the board, especially if you got a wrist injury. If you're not going to play, you probably won't be the shoot around. So keep an eye on Cunningham. We've gone over to El Ninos.
All right, starting off with this early one, obviously a couple big question marks there. And if you've waited this long, I'd just wait a little bit longer to get a confirmation, at least on Anthony Edwards. Randall's a pretty solid piece for these Wolves as well, but obviously Anthony Edwards, definitely the bigger piece there. But if these guys play, I like the Wolves, I guess, to get the job done again. And if not, I'd be at least if Edwards sits this one out, I'd be leaning to the Cavs. But again, this line would probably jump, and I guess as long as it stays 6 or less, I'd kind of lean towards the Cavs, but wouldn't be too in love with that number either. So that's how I feel about that game. Pacers Heat, yeah. I think the Heat are just laying a couple too many points here, so I'll take whatever best number you can get with the Pacers. I'm seeing 7.5s now. If you can find that 8, go ahead and grab it. But I like the points with the Pacers and that one to keep it respectable on their home court there. And Clippers, Pistons, you mentioned the tricky spot there for the Clippers on the back-to-back, but if Harden and Leonard play, I'd even take a shot on the money line here with the Clippers. Definitely going to be grabbing the points as long as they're still playing. But again, with no Duran or Harris, and then Cunningham dealing with his injury, you have to wonder how effective he's going to be, whether he plays or not. So I like the Clippers in that one. Also like an under there too. Pistons 19-17 and 1 to the under. The Clippers are 19-17 to the under. So with all those injuries to these Pistons, especially if Cunningham ends up sitting this one out, I'd like the under as well.
Yeah, from Al Nino's here. Yeah, I'll tell you what I think here about these games. I know Miami might be at full strength here about the healthy they've been, but I'm still going to take Indiana. In Heat over the past 2 weeks, the defense has gone south, giving a 49% shooting. But, man, the Pacers are starting to shoot the ball pretty well. 49% from the field, 42% from three over the past 2 weeks. They've covered 4 of 6, and that's, again, it's been the shooting. Somehow, some way, they found their shooting touch. So I'll look here at Indiana here at plus the price there. I'm going to stay away from the Minnesota game. Just those two are 2 impact injuries I don't want to touch. Let's see, Clippers and the Pistons. Seems like a big number there. It's come down actually to 5.5 in that one. I would only look here at the Pistons here, probably get a short number because I anticipate somebody sitting for the Clippers. That's just the way I look at it. Get a better number now before the news comes out, right? So I would definitely look because it was 7.5 last night. It's come down to 5.5. So I could only look here at Detroit in that spot. Detroit's a 14-3 at home, a solid road team. They won and covered 3 straight with great defense. Clippers, I know they've shown improvement, but this is a road trip. We're long into it right now, and I kind of agree there with Ron Hahn. Here is Pistons or nothing. Yeah, I'll need. I'm the parole officer for El Ninos. That's what I am. All right. Yeah, we don't laugh at people who take 6 double digits in the NBA. I don't think we laugh at people that do that. I think you're better off taking the points than I took it as well. But I'm not. I have no ill feelings over it. The
Hey,
way
you
that,
said it was a good pick, so I'll take it. Thanks.
yeah, there you go. Good pick there. But I learned
Can't
my
hit them
lesson.
all. Can't hit, especially all the free picks. You know.
Yeah, you can't know. But what I always say
No,
is you could never uh, give heat to someone who takes points in any sport. You know,
I'd much rather lose
yeah.
with the points
They
than
asked
laying
the
two
first
touchdowns.
one of the first questions somebody was asked in the media about. They asked the coach a question about point spread directly. This goes back to Don Shula back in the early 70s, maybe late 60s. They asked him about someone just out of the blue asked him, what's your recommendation to people betting on football? And most coaches would shy away from it. But Don Shula took an interesting stance. He said, well, the recommendation I would have to people out there betting on professional sports is if they're giving you points, take the points. As head coaches, all we want to do is win the game. Doesn't matter by how much. So that was a take in the early 70s, late 60s. There's videotape of it. That's why I brought it up. And there you can find it on YouTube. But I thought that was very interesting because back in those days, I'm surprised the reporter even asked a question, but it was asked there. But interesting response there from Don Shula. You guys can look it up on YouTube. It's interesting. All right, we'll continue it here. Mavericks and the Bulls. Here we got the Bulls here laying 2.5, total 233.5. Spurs and Celtics. Here the Spurs on the road 1.5, total 230.5. Hornets and Jazz. The Hornets on the road 5. There's a 4.5 popping up now. Total sits here at 239.5. We'll take a look at the injuries here from these games. We'll start here with the Spurs and Boston here, 2 back-to-backers here. Vassell here out. Champagny is questionable for Boston. You know, Tatum's still going to show up. There's hope that he'll get back for the playoffs. You see him on the bench. He wants to play. You can see it in his eyes. El Nino, he wants to play, right? If you see him on the bench, dude looks like he wants to get out there. So I wouldn't be surprised if he gets back for the playoffs. Minot is questionable. Dallas and Chicago. Anthony Davis, the ligament injury. Oh my! They were trying to move him. Guess what? He got hurt. So that's Davis out. Irving out, PJ Washington out, Williams here is out there for Dallas. For Chicago, Collins and Giddey are out. Smith and Woodard are questionable. It is ligament damage in that wrist for Davis, so pretty serious there. Charlotte and Utah, Plumlee out, but hey, they look pretty good here. Kalkbrenner, Saloon, Williams are all probable there. For Utah here, Ace Bailey is out, the rookie. Markin out. Oh, that's a big one. Niang is out, and then, of course, Nurkic is questionable. We've gone over to El Nino's.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a small shot here on the Spurs. Now this line's flipped, if I'm not mistaken. I think the Celtics opened up as a small favorite. Now it's the Spurs laying 1.5 or so. Point I'm seeing here. But I gotta agree with that line move just based on the rest advantage. Both these teams been playing well, but I'll take the extra rest there with the Spurs over that home court advantage for the Celtics. Mavs at Bulls, yeah, should be an interesting matchup here. But again, I'll side with the actually not again. This time I'll side with the home team here. I'll take Chicago and lay the small number there with them at home. I think they could get the job done there. I know they've been struggling, but I think it's a good spot to put an end to those struggles here. And last but not least, we got the Hornets at the Jazz. Yeah, not too much on this one. Let me take a look at one last thing. Yeah, maybe a small lean to the Jazz with the points there, but again, nothing I'm rushing the bet here.
There we go from El Nino's here. Yeah, I tell you what I think about these games here. In the Bulls game, I'll look at the Bulls here, laying the number here. But Anthony Davis injury could be an impactful around the basket for rim protection, and Dallas has not shot the ball well from 3 here over the past 2 weeks. Bulls have defended a little better over the past 2 weeks, holding teams to 46% shooting overall. Mavericks have failed to cover 8 of 10. Wow. Bulls have covered 7 of 10 with spots of good defense. I'll look at Chicago there in that spot. Spurs and Celtics, and I would only look at the Boston Celtics in this one here. San Antonio has failed to cover 5 of 7 with poor shooting. Celtics have won 5 of 6 with good shooting. San Antonio over the past 2 weeks, just 43% shooting, 27% from 3, I should say. Celtics in the better shooting form. I'll take them here. Yeah, home dog with Utah. the number, I can only take Utah here. Jazz has shot the ball very well over the past 2 weeks, 49%, allowing 34%. That's why we're seeing them covered. The Jazz have covered 3 of 4. The shooting has improved. I know Markin is not in the lineup, but you got Kaishan. We've got some guys in there that can put the ball in the hoop here. Here in Kaishan George, Bryce Sensabaugh in there as well. We've got Collier Anderson and playing off the bench. I'll take Utah here in this spot, especially with Charlotte, a team that doesn't play in elevation, heading into this high elevation environment. Give me Utah here as a home dog. All right, let's continue here on Tony This Morning Show. As we continue in here, in college hoops, we'll do it in 4 blocks here. Big card for today, 140 plus games today. So in the block 1, we'll cover games at noon Eastern and include the games here at 2:30 Eastern time. So we'll stop at the 3. We won't do the 3 Eastern. So from the noon Eastern to 2:30 Eastern time. Let's see, we have notable games here in this one. Of course, Tennessee, Florida. Florida, a 5-point favorite, total 152. Nebraska, Indiana. Will that O go? We'll see if the O goes here. Indiana favorite here, 4.5, total 150.5. Let's see what else we have in this one. NC State, Florida State. NC State 4.5 on the road. Let's see, BC and Louisville. Louisville laying 20. What's happened to BC basketball? Louisville 21.5-point favorite here. There. Houston and Baylor. Houston laying 3, total 142. LSU and Vandy. Vandy, what's happened to LSU basketball? Vanderbilt 15.5 there, total 162.5. And then look at Michigan laying 19 here at home against Wisconsin. Woo! And SMU and Duke laying 13.5 at home. St. John's and Creighton at home laying 1 here in that one. So there you go here in that block. We're going to do Nooners, and we'll include the 2:30. We'll start with Alninos.
All right, so first up, I'm going to take a look at this NC State team over Florida State. They're coming in as small road favorites here, but they've been shooting the ball real well, taking better care of the ball as well. So given their numbers shooting from deep and the free throw line here, I think they can edge out that cover there over Florida State. Nebraska, Indiana. Yeah, that O could very well go, but I'll grab the points there with Nebraska. Indiana's put up some great numbers. Nebraska, though, has traveled well so far, 2-0 on the road. So will they pull off the upset? I'm not sure, but I'm grabbing the points there with Nebraska. VCU, George Mason. I think we have a little line flip here. A big move there on VCU. But I'm still on George Mason here. 11-0 at home. VCU just 1-1 on the road, so I'll take what I can get with George Mason there. Houston at Baylor. I'll lay the small number here with Houston. Again, Baylor putting up some great numbers, but I'll take the 14-1 Houston there to get the job done. Syracuse Pitt. Should be a pretty good game here, but I'll back Syracuse on the road. Again, what are they getting now? Are they still getting any point? Yeah, see, 1.5. You can just take the money line if you prefer that. But I'm on Syracuse there. Georgia at South Carolina. Lay the small number with Georgia here. I know South Carolina 9-2 at home, but I think just Georgia the better team. So I'll back them there on the road. And last but not least, to round this block up, I'll take another small road favorite here and lay the points with Villanova, 3-1 on the road. Marquette just 6-4 at home, so I'll take Villanova there and lay that small number.
There we go with Al Ninos here. What did I like here in this spot here? I agree with Al Ninos. I like Nebraska here plus the 4.5 points. Indiana gets a Big Ten is struggling on the glass, and they allow 56% shooting from 2-point distance there. Nebraska gets a conference. They don't turn the ball over. They hit their threes, 81% the line. Defensively, they force turnovers. They put that ball pressure on, which I like. They defend the 2-point shot very well, and they've allowed 36% shooting or lower in 6 of their past 8. I'll take Nebraska in that spot. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Morning Show. Go to block number 2, and in block 2, we're going to cover the games from 3 Eastern time and include the games at 5:30 Eastern time. So we go in this block 2 Eastern and include the 5:30 Eastern in this spot. And in some of the notable games, a lot of mid-majors in this block right here. Let's see if we can find some name brand schools here. Arizona State here. There's not really name brand of the way they're playing right now. They're laying 1 against K-State at home. Oklahoma and Texas A&M. A&M, a 4.5-point favorite, total 166. What else we have in this block here? Arizona TCU is a good one here. Arizona 7.5 on the road, total 154.5. And Providence Xavier, Providence 2 on the road, total 165.5. Xavier's really fallen off, as you could tell with that line there. What else we have here? That looks to be it as far as name brands here. So El Nino's block 2.
Yeah, not too much in this block for me, but a couple games I liked here. Sorry, let me pull them up. Yeah, I'm on Tulsa there over South Florida. South Florida loves going to play at a very fast pace. They go after those rebounds. But again, I just think Tulsa just gets the job done there on their home court. So I'll go with Tulsa on that one. And the other one I was looking at here was Tennessee State over Eastern Illinois. Yeah, just another small road favorite here. Maybe laying a point or two more than I'd like to, but again, as long as it's 6 or less, I like Tennessee State in that one.
They're from Al Nino's here. Tell you what I think here. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead in this block. I like Longwood here laying the points here against Presbyterian. Longwood has been shooting the ball well inside against the conference play, defends a 3 and defends a 2-point line pretty well. They're strong offensively in the glass against the Big South. Presbyterian is last in effective field goal defense against the conference. Get 47% from 3, 54% inside. They don't make their threes. They don't make their free throws. They fail to cover 3 or 4 with bad defense. Presbyterian here is allowing 50% shooting, 39% from 3 over the past month. I'll take for Longwood here, a team that's in pretty good shooting and defensive form here to cover there against Presbyterian. All right, let's continue here on Tony's Morning Show. As we continue on here, we'll move over to block 3 here. And in block 3, we're going to cover the games at 6 Eastern and include the games at 7 Eastern time. There's a lot of games here in that block, a lot of big ones here. 6 Eastern include the 7 Eastern. There are 2 hours of block games there. There we've got, in this block, we've got Arkansas, Auburn 2, total 169.5. Missouri, Ole Miss, that one's a pick 'em. Clemson, Notre Dame, Clemson 3 on the road. Seton Hall, Georgetown. Seton Hall on the road, 2.5, total 136.5. Wake Forest, North Carolina 10.5, there, total 151.5. And what else we have in this one? Texas Tech, Colorado Tech on the road, 6 on the road, and then high elevation, total 162.5. And then we'll go over to Al Nino's.
Yeah, a couple games. You said the cutoff was what on this one?
7 Eastern.
Okay, so I have a few 6 o'clock games circled here. First one up at Missouri over Ole Miss here. You mentioned that Pick'em line there. Just think they've been the better team, so I'll back him here. They've been shooting the ball well. I'll take Missouri there over Ole Miss. Clemson, Notre Dame, again, another a small road favorite here with Clemson. I'll lay the small number there with Clemson. And Arkansas, Auburn should be a pretty good one, but I'll take Arkansas on that one. Just 1-1 on the road, but again, I think just the better team here. So I'll take Arkansas there. And last but not least, I'm going to go with Seton Hall over Georgetown. Another team, just again, another small road favorite there, 3-0 on the road. So no problems traveling so far, and I'll take them to get the job done again on the road there.
Yeah, the one I like in this block is definitely Seton Hall here. Boy, this Hoyas team is just frustrating here. They failed to cover 10 of 11 with spots of poor shooting over the past month. The Seton Hall Pirates holding teams just over 38% shooting with 30% from 3. They have been defending very well. They've covered 4 or 6 with very strong defense here. They're a third in defensive efficiency in the Big East. They force turnovers, they rebound. The whole team is 29% from 3, and they secure the basketball offensively and rebound here. There in the conference. Georgetown can't make threes. And boy, they cannot. Those 2-point shot, that 2-point shooting percentage is horrible for Georgetown. I'll look at Seton Hall in that spot. All right, let's continue here on the Toix Morning Show as we continue on with our final block. In our final block, we're going to cover the games at 8 Eastern time, all the way to the final game at midnight Eastern, that Cal Irvine Hawaii game. So in this block here, let's look at some of the notable games here in that block of games from 8 Eastern all the way to midnight. Of course, we got Texas, Alabama 12. Look at that. Total 178. Maryland at UCLA 11.5 at home, total 145. What else we have here? Mississippi State and Kentucky 10.5, total 155. And BYU, Utah, the big rivalry game here with these two. BYU 14.5 on the road here. What has happened to Utah basketball? Total 166. And then, those are your notables there. We'll go back to El Ninos.
Yeah, maybe not too notable, but take a couple small shots here. I'll take North Dakota over Kansas City. Next one I had was UT Martin again, getting close to my limit on how many points I'd like to be laying, but I think they should win this one comfortably. So I'll take UT Martin over Southern Indiana there and lay the points in that one. And last but not least, I got Utah State having themselves a pretty good season here, putting up great numbers, again, shooting the ball really well from deep, going after them steals on defense too, so should lead some easy transition offense. 3-1 on the road, so I'll take Utah State to get the job done there over Boise.
Yeah, from El Ninos, what I like here in this block here, I'll lay it with San Diego State. This Fresno State team isn't any good. Fresno State is 10th in offensive efficiency in the Mountain West. Again, another team that turns the ball over. I don't like these back teams that turn the ball over. Oh, their 2-point shooting is terrible. They're 8th in effective field goal defense. They're giving up 58% shooting from 2-point distance. You know, San Diego State's got that physical presence inside. They should have no resistance going to the hole. Aztecs have shot 51% or greater in 5 of their past 6 games. The Fresno State over the past month allowing 48% shooting, and the Aztecs over this period of time holding teams at 37% from overall. I'll look at Fresno State here in a blowout game. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Six Morning Show. Someone asked, who will score the longest touchdown today? Well, the biggest line, right? You would have to look at probably the Rams, the biggest favorite.
That may be a Puka Nacua type touchdown. I don't know.
Puka Nacua, yeah.
Yeah.
Where the Bears' pass defense is going, you might look at a Green Bay receiver if you could find some value there, because we saw the Niners just run up and down all those guys. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there in that one. There, I'm going to start looking more at the props here as we get in the playoff games. All right, you guys are through college. We'll look at the NHL here. We'll just ask El Ninos here. Just give us what you got. It's a big NHL board. El Ninos, what do you got today here from the NHL?
Yeah, it is a pretty big board, and let's take a quick look at it here. First up, I'll take a small shot here on the Rangers. I know they haven't been playing great, but still think that if they play up their potential here, we got some value on them here. Boston not doing too bad themselves. They've been dealing with some injuries all season long. They're fairly healthy now. Should be a pretty good matchup, but I'll take a small lean on the Rangers there. Next up, we got the Penguins hosting the Flames. The Penguins definitely in the much better form here. They're on their home ice. I like Pittsburgh to get the job done that one. They're laying a little bit of juice, so you could put some on the puck line as well to knock it down a bit, or just take them in regulation if that's more your thing. But I like the Penguins to get the job done there. Avs coming in as a massive favorite. Let me see what the line is right now on that puck line. Is if you don't mind laying a little bit of juice, that's where I would look in that one. Avs on the -1.5 there, but again, nothing I'm rushing to bet. Not much value there for sure. Sharks, Stars. Sharks are banged up, but keep pulling off these little upsets left and right. So take another small shot here on the Sharks. The Stars definitely haven't been playing their best hockey either. So I like the little value we're getting on the Sharks in that one. Another big favorite here, Hurricanes, Kraken. Unfortunately, I will not be laying the -1.5 with them. Kraken been playing some pretty good hockey coming into this one, so I'm on the Kraken. If you want to take that puck line, go ahead, but I'm more likely to take a small shot here on the money line with the Kraken in that one. Montreal, Detroit, that should be a good one. Two teams playing well. Could probably make a case for either of them. Could try to make a case for the home team here, but Red Wings traveled pretty well here, coming in healthy. Take a small shot on the Red Wings and that plus money in that one. Moving on down this list. Not too much else, I don't think. Oh yeah, Oilers, Kings. Yeah, Oilers coming in as big home faves there. But again, perfect price for either taking them in regulation or on as I'd like to take them. I'd rather take them on the -1 here and give myself an out in case this one goes to overtime. But yeah, rest and home ice advantage there for the Oilers. I'll take the Oilers on the -1 on that one. And
Yeah.
yes, I think the Golden Knights are way overpriced in that one as well. So if you want to take a small shot on the Blues, I can't blame you for doing that either.
Here we go from El Nino. So, all right, we got you through our sports coverage for today. Tune in for the Daily Dangle 1 Eastern time. We got our man Rod will give you also his rundown on the NHL. So now it's time for our Parlay Pro segment where cappers are giving out parlay, team player prop, game of the future. They make the call here. Back to Al.
I will go with the Pacers, the Spurs, and the Bulls.
There we go from Al Ninos. Tell you what I like here. I'm going to take the Panthers plus the points with the Bulls laying the points and the Jazz taking the points. All right, we got you through our Parlay Purple segment. Now it's time to see what our cappers have for sale over at Tony'sPicks.com for today's coverage. Big weekend of football, NFL here for the next 3 days. Playoff action coming up for you. Of course, the NBA, NHL, college hoops, all in swing with things right now. Of course, if you click the link in the description, that'll take you right on over to our site over at Tony's Picks. You'll see it right now as we put the share screen up for you right now here. Let's see, we got it for you right now. Here we go. Yep, here we go. Right over to Tony's Picks, where you can check all the leaderboards of top performers up on the list. And El Nino's sitting at the top of the leaderboard here for the year right now over at Tony's Picks. So good time to get up over there. Al, 782 units of profit for 2026. That is all documented. It's based on $100 unit wager size. So Al, what do you have for sale for today?
Yeah, so far up to date, I just have my best bet in the NFL there if you want to check that out. And again, I already have my Monday Night Football up as well if you're on a long-term pass or if you want to check those out individually, whatever is more your thing. Again, been very disciplined and very selective, haven't put out too much volume this year. And again, don't see any reason to change that game plan up just yet. So not going to get a massive amount of plays out of me, but again, if you want to get those long-term or pair me up with your favorite capper, you can pair me up with. We got all kinds of cappers here. We got volume bettors. We got other people that are putting in just a few plays every day. So if you want to pair me up with someone that has a ton of volume, go ahead and do that if you're looking for more plays. But again, make sure you grab one of those long-term 2-for-1 capper passes, pair me up with your favorite capper. And, of course, you get all those team plays emailed right to you that way as well.
That's right, guys. Got to go Nina's over at Tony's Picks. See the great results here from Al for the year. Remember, he's got his best bet on the board. $9 premium up there for you. Remember, all of our one-day passes are profit guaranteed. They must turn a profit or amount purchased will be credited back to your account for site credits. That's profit guaranteed. Get on board with El Nino's over at Tony's Picks. Long-term subscription is the way to go. With all these sports overlapping, you may consider the 7-day All Sports Pass, get covered for the entire 3 days of NFL coverage, as far as more NBA as well as college hoops up there. And remember, our member plays are in the system here by 11 a.m. Eastern time. We continue to handicap throughout the betting cycle, looking for those late plays. Late steam plays are in our system by between 10 minutes to 2 hours of our game time and emailed right to your inbox using the email you use when we sign up for the service. Late steam feature offered here at Tony'sPicks.com at no extra charge on all long-term subscriptions, as well as all props. We are fully automated for props here from the NFL, from the NHL, from the NBA. So props are included, no extra charge here. We have automated the data entry and grading. So it's very no extra work for the cappers having to write-in plays and all that nonsense. We've automated the complete process here for props. So that's also included at no extra charge on those long-term subscriptions. And remember, the promo code TonyT will save you that 15% off. And, of course, you can match up Al with your favorite capper here with the 2-for-1 capper promotion. So you can match up El Nino's and go ahead and get signed up. Remember, guys, there to pick your number 2 capper, and you're all set to roll. I have a best bet on board, also working some more plays for you. Look to have a 3-pack up there for you guys. So get on board with me over at Tony's Picks. Remember the promo code TonyT, save you that 15% off. Guys, we're with you here every day at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. It is the Tony's Picks Morning Show. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. We greatly appreciate that. It really helps us build up our audience when you do that. And we'll take a look here over to our YouTube channel. Just type in Tony's Picks in the search console, and you'll be able to find our page here at Tony's Picks here, YouTube, growing as we speak here. Any live shows, best way to start is hit our homepage. That's the best way to start. Home our page, make sure you subscribe there. You'll see all of our live streams as well. Our compilation videos are up there right now. NHL pick hit list from Chris is up there for you right now. Deep dives, NBA, college hoops, all that's up there for you right now to check out. We got the props up there. We got our man Kevin Thomas with some NFL props here on the board for you right now, as well as Chris with his hit list. Some props for you today here on the Tony Picks YouTube channel, NFL playlist. A lot of coverage here from the NFL, from Ramon, from Chris, from myself, and more. So check it out here on the Tony Picks channel. We'll have some more college football for you when we get to the final game of the national championship. NBA in there as well. Our NBA playlist, Ramon, a full coverage of all the games. I'm in there as well. College hoops. Ramon's got some coverage for you from college basketball today. NHL, Ramon's got every game on the board. UFC coming back when the fights come back. And, of course, our shorts tab with lots of content on the shorts. We'll have a lot of that coverage for you guys. So lots of great content over on the Tony Speaks YouTube channel. So check it out. Like, subscribe. Greatly appreciate that. It really helps us build up our audience. Of course, El Nino's your big part of it here on the morning shows, and we see on the reels as well.
Yeah, definitely been mostly morning shows lately. But, again, keep an eye out for those doggy videos and those shorts. In the meantime, ton of great content over at Tony's Picks YouTube channel, so make sure you check all that out.
Yeah, check it out there. Of course, if you hit the live tab, we got our live show, our morning show here with you here every day, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. Night moves with Ramon and DeAndre. That one, 3 a.m. Eastern time. We have the Look Ahead Line show here with Alessandro. Get ahead of those line moves with the Look Ahead show here Sunday through what do we got? Saturday through Thursday here is your Look Ahead show there with Alessandro, midnight Eastern time. So check it out there. And of course, happy hour with Rod. He's with you here Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Your last look at the games before they go off. And Alessandro gives you the first look before they go off. But happy hour Monday through Friday, 5 Eastern time. Of course, Daily Dangle here with Rod. He'll be here at 1 p.m. Eastern time. And he will be giving you the complete rundown on the NHL. Get all the goalie news. You'll check out all the morning skates. Have that information for you guys and get you those picks on the Daily Dangle. Check it out here, 1 p.m. Eastern time. All of our live shows, we interact with our audience here in the chat. So, guys, appreciate that. Check us out here on the Tony Speaks YouTube channel. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Greatly appreciate it. Podcast as well. You can hear it. All of our playlists are in podcast format, whether you're on Spotify, Apple, whatever your favorite playlist is. Listen to us here on podcast if that works out better for you. All right, guys, with you here Monday through Friday here, every day on the show at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. It is the Tony Speaks Morning Show. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. We greatly appreciate that. Appreciate everybody in the chat today. Everybody joining us here today. PCW Crit likes the pens. Romeo Dobbs. There you go. There's this 49er fan. That Romeo Dobbs will be the guy. All right. Appreciate everyone's contributions here on the show. We're back again tomorrow live at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. 3 NFL games on the board and more, so tune in. Any closing thoughts, Al, before we close it out?
No, a ton of action. All sports going today, so just enjoy your games and best of luck.
Best of luck to everyone. We're going to wake up. Bye, guys. You guys making a winning one. We're back tomorrow here on the Tony Speaks Morning Show.